Okay, now the next subject we're going to cover is rules and regulations, which are vital if you're going to be in the partnership program. You have to respect YouTube's rules and regulations. Now, these rules and regulations were set down by a lawyer, but they've been rewritten so that the average person can make out what they say, because lawyers tend to use a lot of fancy dead language material like Latin in order to make themselves look important. So, God, I need something to moisten my throat. These rules and regulations were set down to protect you and protect YouTube from lawsuits. You may be like me in another country other than the United States, but the laws and regulations that you have to respect belong to America, and they belong to California, and those are the ones that you should be going by, although they may be different in your own country. Some rules that apply here, for instance, don't apply to the United States, this being Canada. So I'll go over all the important regulations and rules and cover this as our topic. But you should sit down and you should read them all. I have read them all, and the basics is that they're protecting you, they're protecting the YouTube audience, and they're protecting the YouTube participants from lawsuit and from theft. That's the basic rules. So let's start with no pornography or explicit content of the sexual nature, and that's got a lot to do with the fact that there are children who watch YouTube. You also have the religious community to deal with. Nothing to do with drug abuse or using drugs in YouTube. That's not possible either. YouTube will not promote self-destruction, and they will not promote the destruction of other people. So if you're into making weaponry or using weaponry or demonstrating it on human-like targets, that's forbidden, because they will not promote hatred. They do not promote acts of you teaching other people how to commit war. Gross outfits such as throwing up on the camera or throwing up on other people, or acts of that nature, they're forbidden as well. No gross out videos. No violent videos, no beating on people, no bullying people, no shooting, stabbing, or raping people is allowed on YouTube, of course, because once again they will not promote it, and these acts of violence and degradation will not be supported by YouTube, because if they were on YouTube, if they did show them and allow them, then people crazies and gangs would go out and naturally commit these acts just to show them on YouTube. And of course they would get the highest number of hits, definitely, due to this YouTube audience. Copyright infringements. Now, there's a reason why people have copyright laws and trademark laws. It's because this is the bread and butter issue of many companies and many people. This is how they earn their living. And for you to come on and take their stuff and promote it as your own is completely wrong. Not giving credit where credit is due is completely wrong. There are ways, copyright, as far as I know in Canada, I don't know what it is in the United States, but in Canada it runs to 75 years for music. So any music past 75 years, you can use it. You can use the whole song. You don't have to pay anybody. But if you're using music under copyright regulation, if you use music, you have to put in the credits of who did this music, what the song is called, and who owns it. It's only proper business procedure, proper legal procedure, and giving credit where credit's due, because you didn't write it, you didn't produce that music. But as I said, there are copyright, the copyright laws are such that you can use music if you're teaching about that particular artist or about that particular song. You can play it. There are limitations on how long you can play a song for movies. In the movie industry, for example, they are allowed to take any song they like and play it on their movie as long as it's only a few seconds long and as long as they give proper credit at the end of the movie. So for copyright issues, go online for your particular country, but as I said, pay attention that YouTube is located in California, in the United States of America, and those are the laws that you should be particularly looking into with regards to copyright and trademark. Trademark is a design, logo that companies use. That if you see this design, then you automatically know what company it is. You should never use trademark other people's trademarks, because you probably don't own that company, you probably don't work for that company, so you can't use the trademark. You can't have hate speech, telling people off, calling people names, cursing, swearing, especially threatening them with violence. If you threaten anyone with violence or violent acts, this is a police investigation matter, and you can go to prison for it in some countries. There's zero tolerance for that in Canada, and that includes racial remarks. If you attack others on YouTube and you set up an account for specifically attacking other people's account on YouTube, your account that you're using to commit these attacks will be suspended, and you will not be allowed to start another account. Which means that if you want to be on YouTube, you have to go to somebody else's computer in somebody else's house and use their IP address. You're not allowed to have spam. What is spam? Spam is advertising. It's advertising your products or advertising your site, going to each and every video, for instance, and posting advertisement to your site, or directly posting advertising to your site or to products that you sell. That is spam. It is not allowed, and your account could be suspended for that as well. You are not allowed to misrepresent your video. That means putting in titles for a video, and the title has nothing to do with the video. It's just there to attract attention. That's not allowed, and posting photos in the video that make people want to watch the video because there's something in the photo they want to see, but the photo has nothing to do with the video. That's not allowed either. It's called misrepresentation.